Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is If Loving You Is Wrong, Season 4, Episode 5, and the name of this episode is A Taste of Freedom. This was a rather good episode, actually. I actually am liking that the story is starting to move. So, but before I get started, let me send out my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by, the tragedies in Las Vegas, as well as everyone that was affected by Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Jose, and Hurricane Maria. So if you can give relief or give support to everyone that was affected by these crises, please do so, because our fellow man needs our help. Now, on with this review. The episode picks up where it left off. Marcy and Alex are going back and forth, and Alex is like taunting Marcy, letting her know that if you don't stop messing with Brad, I'll tell Randall that that baby that you're pregnant with is his. And then the next thing you know, we see Randall come off the elevator. Tell me what? And then all of a sudden he looks at Marcy, and he knows that they're on the paternity floor, and he's like, what the hell are you doing here? And he just keeps taunting her. What the hell are you doing here? And she's like, none of your damn business. And then all of a sudden Alex is like, what the hell? Are you following me? And he's like, why not? And then all of a sudden, Randall turns to Marcy's like, oh yeah, that's not my kid, right? And she's like, I don't care. And he's like, and I'm going to jack her life up because of it. And she's like, yeah. And guess what? I don't care. And then, he just keeps aggravating Marcy. And Marcy gets to the point where she's like, you know what? Get away from me. I'm going to knock you out. He's like, come on, knock me out. Knock me out. I want you to. And I'm like, see, Randall, a.k.a. Psycho Betty, has completely lost all sanity. And it's getting to the point that someone is either going to whoop his ass or they're going to put him in a grave, because he has no limits to his madness, and it's just getting to the point where it's becoming too much. So he says again, what the hell are you doing here? And this when Alice comes in. I'll tell you why. She's here trying to get pregnant by Brad, and all of a sudden he's like, really? And all of a sudden he's like, and then she's like, really, you would do this? And she's like, yeah, she's trying, but unfortunately she's unsuccessful. So won't you? So now that me and Brad are back together, leave Brad alone. And all of a sudden he's like, you would really do something like this? Yeah. And she was like, and then Alice was like, well, yeah. She would. I mean, after all, you couldn't give her a baby, so I guess she had to try to get one on her own. I mean, after all, you couldn't give me one either. and then all of a sudden, it got funny because Marcy and Alex both can't stand Randall, so the two of them started to be a little tag team. And all of a sudden, Alex was like, you know what, Marcy? I don't think the problem was you. I think the problem was him. Because here it is, he thought he got me pregnant, he didn't even get me pregnant, and he can't get you pregnant either. And he's like, all of a sudden, oh, so y'all can gang up on, y'all gonna gang up on me? That's okay, I can take it. And I'm like, and then she's like, you know what, since you're gonna be following me and all, how about I let you know this? I'm about to go to my doctor to get a checkup. Then after that, I'm going to go to the supermarket. And then I'm going to go to the baby store. And he's like, awesome. And then all of a sudden she's like, and you know what? I'm going to leave you two here to talk. I'm going to take the stairs. And then Randall tells Alex, oh yeah, great. You can work off some of that baby weight. I'm like, yo, you seriously need your ass whooped. Because it's gotten to the point where that was just beyond disrespectful. That woman just had a baby, and you're going to talk about something she can work off that baby weight by walking down the stairs. And I'm just like, yo, he is, as I said, he has lost his sanity, and he's going to need a serious tragic event to wake him up. Because obviously what happened the last time didn't work. So we need something just that bad to get Psycho Betty off of her bullshit. So he gets on the elevator with Marcy, and then he starts taunting her. He's looking dead at her, and she's like literally paying him dust. She's like, so you trying to have a baby, huh? And she's like, yeah, anybody but yours. And she's like, you know what? I love him. He's an amazing man. And she's like, so, oh yeah. And then she's like, she's like, yes, I love him. He's an amazing man. And then he's like, you know, he had a vasectomy. And she's like, that can be reversed. And he says, well, the thing is, you know, you got 3 problems. 1, he has a wife. 2, and she's like, oh, you saying you? Oh, you saying you're the problem? Oh, no, baby, you're not a problem. You're an asshole. I was like, you better tell him, Marcy. And oh, yeah, then he was like, 3, Brad had a vasectomy. And she was like, that can be reversed. So then he just looked real simple after that, and all of a sudden he just started getting in his feelings like, I can't believe you. I can't believe you would be that desperate. That you would go through that length to have a baby that bad. And she's like, yeah, and still, you went through all that great lengths to get Alex pregnant, and I know you did that crap on purpose, and you intentionally wanted to get her pregnant, and you still not the daddy. I was like, yes, yes, Marcy, serve him. Let him know the real deal. And he was like, you know, and then she's like, you know, and then like she gets to the point, she's like, every time I'm around you, the more and more I despise you. You know, I'm just over you. And he's saying that, you know, and she's like, you know what? I'm just be so happy once I divorce you and I'm done with you. And he's like, oh, so that's how it is. You just gonna do me like that? You know, you just gonna try to hurt my heart? And she's like, you know, my heart will be happy when yours stop beating. And then she got up out of there, and I was like, Marcia, you better let him have it. Because it just got to the point he just had enough. And then after that, she called Larry and told Larry, look, you need to talk to him today. And he's like, well, I'm about to go meet up with James with him later. She's like, I don't care. You need to talk to him right now. I'm done with this. I'm ready for this divorce to be over with. I'm over him. You know, you need to tell him right now and let him know that you representing me. Because I want him to stop, and I want him to stop now, because I just ran into him, you know, at the hospital because he was following Alex. So I'm done. Next, we actually see Kelly finally gets out of jail. Her house has been taped off, and the police is there doing their investigation, so she can't go in her house. We see she goes over to Natalie's house, and her and Natalie talk, and she wants justice, and like, you know, they both talk because they know what Justice had confessed to Lucian as well as to Ian. Then all of a sudden, finally, Justice comes out, and he's like, I'm glad you're home. And she's like, so they know you didn't kill Ramsey. She's like, yes. But she's like, well, I want to ask you something. What do you know about this? And she's like, well, I confess. I did it. And she was like, you know, are they going to take me to jail? And she's like, what do you mean you did this? And no, they're not. Nobody's here to take you to jail. And he's like, well, I confess. You know, I told them about it. I told them that I stabbed them and everything. And she's like, no, you didn't. And you need to stop saying that. You know, where did you get this from? She's like, but it helped you. It got you out. She's like, that didn't help me get out. And you're not helping it by confessing that you did something that you didn't do. And then also he was like, you know, I did it. I did it to help you. You know, it got you out. You know, I stabbed him 52 times. She's like, stop it. You know, and she's like, look at me. I know when you're lying. So cut it out. You know, but he's like, but it helps you. It helps you. And she's like, no, it's hurting me that you're saying this when I know you didn't do it. And I have to say, the little boy that's playing Quincy, he is a good actor, because that scene between him and Kelly, they both You know, shout out to Edwina Finley Dickerson. She really did her thing in this scene. The scene between the two of them was really good. And they just go back and forth, and she pretty much gets him to admit that, no, I didn't do it. You know, I just wanted them to let you go. So I said what I had to say to get out of there. And besides, you know, I feel like it's my fault because I shot the gun. And she's like, no, that's not the reason why they took me down there. But at the end of the day, you do not lie. You know, you don't admit to something if you didn't do anything. And then all of a sudden, all of this starts to ring into Natalie's mind because Natalie's like, well, if you didn't do it, how did you know all of this information? Where did you know all this information from? And that's when he finally confessed that Travis told him, which we all knew. Travis, because you remember when he made the confession to Natalie, he was on the phone before Natalie came into the room. As soon as Natalie came in there, he hung up the phone. So yeah, Travis fed him all that information, and that's where he got all that information from. So this really pisses Kelly off, and then Natalie's like, yo, but this means something, you know, this is an actual confession, you know, that Travis was the one who did this. So she's like, I'm going to call Lucian, but then she's like, oh, my lawyer's out there, we can talk to him. And then all of a sudden, they want to go run, they pretty much go to talk to Ian. So they pretty much go to talk to Ian and everything, and pretty much she's saying that, look, you know, I just talked to Justice. Justice didn't do this. It was Travis. He admitted to it, and he's like, really? And he's like, yes. I'm like, well, you might want to be careful with that because if that's the case, we're gonna probably have to put your son on the stand during the trial, you know, and you know he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to actually confess to this on the stand. If this is true. And Kelly just flipping out. She's like, what the hell? Are you crazy? Like, this man can just ruin my life like this? And he's like, I'm sorry, whatever. But then she's saying that, look, I really need to take him to school. And she's like, and Ian's like, you really want to take him to school after this? And she's like, he's fine, but I need to get his uniform and I need to get some clothes. And she's like, they're not gonna let you up in there. So pretty much what happens was that he pretty much decides to go. She pretty much asks him to go in there to get some clothes for them. So he goes over there. Okay, then we get a scene with Lieutenant Stevens and Lucian, and this scene was everything because Lucian and Stevens' boss Lamont is there. And he's pretty much there for Eddie's case. And then all of a sudden, you know, Eddie is still running off at the mouth saying that, yeah, y'all FBI, I don't know why y'all keep lying. You know, y'all FBI, I know you FBI and everything. So, you know, and, you know, still, Lamont is still trying to keep a cover. But then he's like, I don't know why you still lying. You know, this is what you did. You know, you tried to come after me, Lucian, and now you realize, now I know the truth. And then we find out one of the shockers of the situation. As criminal and as sinister and as evil as Eddie is actually working with the DEA, and he's undercover too. That he was undercover to take down, you know, Moscata. He's there to take down the captain and also these rookies who were working under the captain. So, according to them, Eddie's the good guy. So, this pisses Lucian off. Lucian is like, what the hell is this? What the hell do you mean? And then, like, you know, Eddie's like, yeah, you know, I'm the DA, and, you know, I would like to stay here with y'all, but I gotta go home and take a shower, and I can't invite y'all with me. So he just got up and walked out like it was nothing. And I was like, see, that damn Eddie, he always has an angle, and he always plays it, and that's exactly what happened. So they talk, so after Eddie leaves, they talk to Lamont, and they're like, what the hell is going on? How the hell did this even happen? And he's saying that, look, he was undercover, we couldn't blow his cover, and, you know, I was just shocked as you that he was undercover and everything, but yeah, he's obviously working with the DA, and this is like, you know, above our jurisdiction, so we had to let him go. And then Lucia's like, oh, you mean to tell me that this son of a bitch got out of here, and out of all the crap that he's done and all the people he's killed? I mean, because he even asked him, where's Andrew? And he says, probably my uncle got to him. And I'm like, see, Eddie just keeps throwing it up there that, yeah, I know I'm an evil SOB, but you can't do nothing to me because I'm untouchable. And we just proved in this episode that, yeah, Eddie had an angle. So that was what Eddie was doing for the 5 years he was, you know, missing, and he wasn't, you know, inactive. He was actually training with the DEA. So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So pretty much Lamont just tells Lieutenant Stevens and Lucian that, look, y'all just going to have to keep on building a case on him. That's all we can do, because right now, yeah, he may be an evil bastard, but hey, you know, sometimes you gotta use the demon to trap a devil. So it is what it is. And after it all happened, like, Lucian's like, did this really just happen? And like, Lieutenant Stevens like, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it did. So yeah, this completely threw all of them off. And it was just like, wow, Eddie strikes again. He is just like, Eddie is just unstoppable. Oh yes, and then we get a scene with Esperanza and Eddie. Esperanza comes in the house, she hears her shower running. You know, she know nobody was in there before she left. She goes in there and gets her gun, and I'm gonna roast her ass, because here it is, she's talking about Kelly having a gun and you got one your damn self. It just so happens that, you know, Justice found her gun and shot it by mistake, but you making it seem as if her having a gun was a bad thing, and you got one yourself. And yeah, not only that, but yeah, Eddie's your baby father, and you messed around with Julius. So, of all the bad dudes that you sleep around with, I mean, you obviously got a gun. So why was it an issue when Kelly had one? See, that's the thing that gets on my nerves about Esperanza. That Esperanza be playing that fake crap, and it really makes me sick with her ass. So, all of a sudden, she pulls out her gun, and comes to find out, Eddie is in the shower. And it's just willy-nilly just up in the shower like he belonged there. He's like, yeah, and she's like, get out my house. And he's like, I would, but I got soap in my eyes, and I'm taking a shower. And she's like, you really got out? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm the Don Juan. Can't nobody hold me. And then she flushed the toilet and got him out of there. He's like, oh my God, all you have to do is flush the toilet and it can be that cold. So he's butt ball naked right in front of her, and she's saying, get out of my house. I want you out of here. And then he starts talking on his car like, come on, you know you don't mean that. You know, won't you cut off all this ridiculousness out, and let's go into the bedroom and let's make up for old times. You know, I'm here to, you know, work on our relationship and work on, you know, being parents to our daughter. And I'm like, Eddie is just there because Eddie has nowhere else to go. And she's like, well, you know, they ransacked my house and all of that, you know, and like Esperanza's like, I don't care, you're not staying here. Like, over my dead body will you be staying in this house? And he just kept trying her. He kept coming for her, you know. And he's saying that, yeah, but you always say you're going to put me out, but I never leave. I'm always going to be here. And yeah, you forget my name on the deed on this house. So why you keep always trying to play this tough guy? Why you always got to be so tough and be so hard? You know what? It's okay, though, because, you know, I know how to play. He's saying, like, yeah, I know you like to play that tough stuff, but I like that. But come on, let's play. Stop playing around. You know you miss me. Let's get it on. And next thing you know, when he tried to go in for her, she starts shooting that gun. And I was laughing. I was like, this is the first time I actually liked Esperanza. When she shot that gun and literally shot Eddie up out of that house. And Eddie was butt-ball naked. And she got him up out of there because she just said, I had enough. Stay out of my house and don't you ever come back up in here. So I'm like, finally. He put her to the limit and she finally flipped out on him. I was like, yes, finally. Finally somebody gave Eddie a taste of his own damn medicine. So I was so here for that. Okay. Alright, so I already talked about that. Oh yes, and then we also see that Marcy and Ian, she actually gives Ian a tour of that house that's right across the street from Kelly. We come to find out a little bit about him that he's just recently divorced and he has 3 boys, and the house is a 3-bedroom, and he wanted it at 50 below, but she got him to get it at 18 below because he said that, you know, he liked the neighborhood and all that, so he's going to take it. But I think Ian got some sinister reasons as why he's moving across the street from Kelly. And I think in time we're going to find that out. Because I don't trust Ian as far as I can throw him. And we can definitely tell that Ian and Marcy are definitely vibing each other. Because you can definitely tell there's some chemistry there. So, after all that went down, we actually see across the street that damn Randall, a.k.a. Psycho Betty, is doing some more punk shit. What he decides to do is he gets on his ladder and decides to put like this light fixture on his house that is shining right into Brad and Alice's bedroom. All of a sudden, Alice is in the house, and then all of a sudden he looks out and he's like, "What the hell?" Oh yeah, but before Randall did that, Randall's in the shed working on the light. He gets a call from Larry, and he's saying that, yo, I just want to confirm about us meeting up tonight. He's like, yeah, we good, but he's like, yo, I need to tell you something. You know, I just saw Marcy recently, and he's like, yeah, and she's like, yeah, she came to me because she wants me to represent her in the divorce. And he's like, I hope you kicked her out of your office. He's like, no, I didn't. You know, I told her I would do it. And he's like, really? Why would you represent her? You're my friend. And he's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, we could actually make this smooth, you know. And he's like, I don't want it to be smooth. And he's like, come on, Alex. I mean, she's obviously done with the relationship. You might as well just end this and move on. And he's like, you know what? You can go straight to hell and don't call me again. Then he went on the side of the house on his ladder to try to put up the light that shines right into Brad and Alex's house. And also remember, he put a camera right there and a monitor, so every time Alex comes out the house, that the little thing goes off and he comes out there to aggravate her. So Brad saw him on the side of the house doing this light thing. He goes out there and confronts him. The meantime, while this is going on, Marcy has already closed the deal with Ian. She was about to call the agent, but she saw Randall across the street on the ladder, so she sat in her car and actually watched this. And this scene was so funny because pretty much Brad comes out there and he's like, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And then all of a sudden Randall's like, "None of your damn business." She's like, "Randall, what the hell are you doing with putting that light up there?" He says that, well, I want to see who's coming in my yard, so therefore, you know, during that nighttime, you know, I can see who's coming in my yard, and he's saying that that's BS because this light is actually pointed right into me in Alice's bedroom. He's like, oh yeah, well, it is what it is. And he's like, yo, Alex. And he's like, yo, Randall, I'm not going to tell you again. You better stop this or I'm going to kick your ass. And then he's just still talking this crap like, well, I ain't taking it down. I'm not doing it. You know, and he's just kind of like just still going back and forth, being a smart ass, talking big trash, because when Psycho Betty's in that zone, he ain't thinking that, you know, someone can mess you up. So he's still just talking big crap to Brad, telling Brad, oh, I don't have to do nothing. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. Like, you know, and then he said that, look, you need to take all this crap down. You need to leave Alex alone. He's like, what the, like, I thought you moved. What the heck you doing back here anyway? He's like, besides that, you're going to leave my family alone, and you're going to take that damn light down. He's like, I'm not taking the light down. He's like, I said take it down. He says, and I said, I'm not taking it down. So it got to the point where Brad had enough, and he pushed over that ladder and knocked him off of it. I was like, yes! Finally! I was like, see, Brad ain't the one to be played with when it comes down to that crap. Because Brad was that one person that kept serving Randall every time he was doing this mess. Like when he was talking stuff about him and Alex, and he sent them that text of him having sex with Marcy in the shed, and then he sent them another text of them having sex in his bedroom. And like, Brad is not here for Randall and for Psycho Betty and her BS. So when he pushed him off that ladder, I was laughing. And then Marcy across the street is cracking up too, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's a man who ain't gonna take your shit. Oh yeah, that's a real man. What's wrong? You can't get up?" I was like, Marcy, you need to stop. But I was so here for Marcy in this episode, though. And he's like, I'm going to sue your ass, Brad. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm like, really, bro? Like, you the one starting shit, and you want to say you want to sue somebody because you got your ass beat. Don't start nothing. It won't be nothing. Don't write checks that your ass can't cash. And we know that Psycho Betty, when it comes to Brad, he's always writing a check that he can't cash. Because Brad is always there to cash that check. And he has no problem doing it. Then the last thing, we get a scene with Dr. Rossin and Alex. You know, pretty much, you know, she's saying thank you, you know, for everything. She's like, yeah, you're welcome. And she's like, but no, I really want to thank you. And she's like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I want to thank you for what you did for me. And she's like, well, what did I do? You know, helping me with Randall. You know, the DNA test. And she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I don't know what you mean. She's like, you know, really? You really don't know what I mean? And Dr. Rossman's like, no, I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about? And she's like, well, I mean, the fact that the DNA didn't match. I mean, it was a mix-up. You know, it had to be a mix-up or something. I mean, and she's like, are you saying that I actually tainted with the results? You know, she's like, yeah. She's like, look, I definitely favor you, and I definitely, you know, care about you, and I definitely understand, you know, and I really was disgusted at how Randall was treating you, but I didn't do anything. So whatever your results were, that it is what it is. And Alex is just like shocked, like, what? And she's like, yeah, at the end of the day, like, yeah, as much as I couldn't stand him, I'm not going to put my career on the line, so I'm letting you know I didn't do anything. And I'm just kind of saying, like, I don't believe her. I really don't believe Dr. Rockton at all. But Alex right now is, like, perplexed, because she's like, oh, my God. Then it possibly may not be Randall's baby. But something is telling me that I think Dr. Roston did, but Roston ain't going to tell her that she did it. Like, and Alex dumb as hell to think that she will. So, I think in time we're going to figure out what's going on with that. But I really do think that, yeah, those DNA results were tampered with, and I think Dr. Roston definitely has something to do with it. But but right now she's not going to come out and actually tell Alex that, because that's putting her career in jeopardy. Even if she did do it, she's not going to tell you. So, that's pretty much what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. But yeah, this was actually a rather interesting episode, but I was so happy that Psycho Betty got pushed off that ladder. You do not know how much life it gave me. But yeah, but shout out to Elton E. Williams, though, because he is a good actor, and he's playing the role of Randall. But yeah, but that's what I have. So, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, I've started the GoFundMe. You can check that out in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of If Loving You Was Wrong. So until then, everybody, take care.